Oh, doctor.
She wasn't too happy to see me.
Oh, well, maybe Laura just threw that in for background color for mine.
Anna, I need a moment to talk.
No, it's not. I can't. I want to be one of those bewitched people.
Nothing.
They appear to be runes. It's located on the other side of the point. Here, looking on the side of the middle part.
She must have been a sexy one.
And Anna, you know what I feel for you. It'd be Madame Lapont's school all over again.
Come on, walk me to my boat. I don't want to stay away too long. Walter will worry. Comparing these truly characters. Oh, God.
A naughty little 12-year-old, surrounded by bewitched adults. And you want me to be your Wendy and dance forever with you in the enchantment? Anna and I had a lovely talk.
I'm glad. I'd like you to get to know her.
I like her. Oh, how two young girls can use a sizable sausage or a cucumber for moments of mutual pleasure. You don't think I thought of that myself, do you? No, but they don't. Oh, God damn it. Tommy.
Well, she's off. I told you she was
No,
going.
I don't know what to do. I really don't.
I mean, since I have to work so closely with her, it would be nice if you could become more friendly.
Kissing each other and hanging on to each other for dear life. Because, honey, we're the only two little girls whose mothers consistently fail to show up to collect their kids. While all the other children are off on their holidays.
Well, damn it. Tell me, will she come to us? I'm sure not.
Honey, I love you. Would you like me to take off your shirt?
I had to come inside. It's much too warm outside.
Come on. Stop mooning. Who are you dreaming about?
Oh, is Laura Seastrom?
I know you must hate me. I love you. You know that. I always will. And Walter, I love you.
Did you see Laura?
Just about now. Laura is in bed with somebody. Doesn't it turn you on to think about that?
It's good to see you, honey. I'd be lying if
Laura.
I said I hadn't missed you. Yes, I'm sure you did.
That's fine with me.
Who had time for kids?
Yeah.
Would you like to have some iced tea?
Laura.
Yes, Walter.
Anna?
Yes, darling.
All of a sudden, my life seems so crowded. Walter.
Always liked me for my papers on bog finds, never for myself.
A new lover. Honey's mother was busy with a new husband, a lover, and a mistress.
I know I left my mind blank last summer.
There are some things that are just too difficult to talk about with men.
These are ready.
Made all the corrections?
That's nice.
The idea the woman put her hands on me. And you're not good for Walter. You have no interest in his work, and his work is his life.
Now then.
He's too busy with his affairs.
How are the kids?
Party.
That's what fucking does to you. Gets one brighter kids. Well? Just what we need. It's just the right feeling. Just right. Almost as good as that one we had in Paris last year.
She's here.
She's here?
She's so dedicated to her work.
She's a girl. She has a cunt. I just wonder if it's a hot cunt.
Well, that's rather difficult for me to think about whether or not my associate has a hot cunt.
Their husbands. And with each other, they fuck themselves silly. The funny part is, Laura was the one that thought of the concept. And she's the first one to chicken out.
How do you know all this?
Laura told me the whole setup when we first met.
Everything? About them and about Miss Brenner?
That's a great story, isn't it? Eating the headmistress until her garter belts hummed a tune.
I didn't hear anything about a garter belt.
Butter was great.
Darling, I'm going into town tomorrow to see Honey and Gabrielle. I'll probably stay very late. Perhaps I'll even stay over.
No.
You don't mind. I mean, you won't worry.
If that's what you want.
Well, it isn't exactly what I want. But I telephoned Honey today and she was so depressed. I said I'd go see her.
Before, when we talked, I didn't mean to say that I didn't like your wife. I make a point of spending more time with her.
Well, she's over on the Big Island right now, fetching the mail and doing some shopping. I'm sure she'll appreciate a little attention from you.
All she could do was bellow, "Oh, God, oh, God."
I know that.
For an otherwise plain woman, Miss Brenner had fantastic legs. I watched them kick and quiver while I did a number on her nipples. By the time I'd finished nipping and sucking, they were 1.5 inches long.
Did she touch you?
By the end of the evening, everyone had done everyone else in every...
There's no sign that there was a village here at all.
Well, Sunbury's writings suggest that they lived on this side of the island, on the sheltered side.
No, I'm not disappointed. I don't want to admit it, but I really don't care when Walter comes back.
Why, Anna? Don't you love him?
I love him.
So do I.
We hadn't even thought about being together when we talked about that. And she knows about us. She saw us that day, the first time.
She never said a word.
Anyway, do you know where this Honey, whatever her name is, lives? I'm sure Laura is there.
I have no idea where she lives.
Walter and I were married by the mayor of a tiny little village in the south of France. When the time came to kiss the groom, my mother slipped her tongue into Walter's mouth. Yeah, I keep a lot of distance between my men and my mama. I've done a lot of thinking about her. I have no reason to be frightened. She'd have to rape me.
Well, she raped the headmistress, didn't she?
So she did. But Miss Brenner wanted to be raped. I can remember the first time Honey applied her wicked little mouth to Miss Brenner's private parts. Those long legs jerked right up towards the ceiling.
Of course. You and Laura have been a jerk. How long have you two been up each other's...
Don't be vulgar.
No wonder you got so
Let's go to Monte
upset.
Carlo.
Monte Carlo?
Whenever we're going, or wherever we're going, we must catch a taxi.
Well, let's go then. Come on. Why in the world do you want to go to Monte Carlo?
We could drive down to San Jose. See my mom.
I hate your mother.
So do I.
Well, let's go to Peru.
Peru!
But in different ways. She's your wife. I admire you. Have for a long time.
But we only met 2 weeks ago.
While I was a student, I read your papers of the Danish book finds. Oh, I loved them. I felt very honored when the university assigned me to you.
Yeah, always the way.
The main island of the ferry. Pretty young archaeologist. She's going to visit her nutty friends.
Friends? She only mentioned Honey.
Well, that's because Gabrielle Devereaux joined the little group later. She's probably a lot less interesting than Honey. Do you know why Honey and Gabrielle are here? Well, once a year, they pick a different city.
She just picked up and left.
Left? Why?
Well, she did leave a note.
Darling Anna, I have to go someplace to meditate. Really meditate. There's a great deal I must think about.
Is there anything special you want to talk to me about? Or...
No. Nothing special, actually. What period is this from?
This one is very ancient. Made about 2 months ago in the old town.
After I was 6, I don't suppose I saw her more than 3 times a year. She was busy with her own life. 5 years ago, I was involved with a young Italian, Arturo. Very ardent, no staying power. We ran into my mother in San Tropez, and the next thing I knew, he was being seen around town.
Diana, I wish you and Laura could become friends. You know, she's bored to death.
We have very little in common, I think.
Oh, I think you have one thing in common. You both like me.
Something wrong, sweetheart?
Nothing's wrong. I noticed tonight at supper how really attractive Anna Vickman is. I wonder if she's sexy. Do you think she's hot?
Okay. We better catch the taxi boat. Leaves at 7.
Oh, where do you want to go when we get back to town?
I don't know.
Hey, I've got an idea. You girls ever been to the Yucatan Peninsula?
Magnets for admirers.
Your mother is a writer?
Bernice Hedgren. She uses her maiden name. Her stuff's always on the bestseller list. She makes a lot of money.
I've seen her name.
But you've never read her. You wouldn't. Her stuff's real garbage. Popular garbage.
What's your mother like?
us, it may be something.
Yeah. I'll bring down the camera later. I'm not going to Hannes.
You don't need to go.
I'm afraid. You see, I know that you can't ever get away from Hannes. So many things.
I'm surprised.
Why are you surprised?
That's your hair. I thought Paul might get you.
How's Honey of Big Penetration fame?
She's all right. I didn't stay very long. She and Gabrielle had some visitors. I would have been in the way if I'd stayed.
What do we do now?
I guess we leave for town.
What about Laura?
I know Laura. She'll come to us when she wants to. If she wants to. We'll leave for town in the morning.
For instance, today I met a girl I've been running away from for 4 years.
Why have you been running away from her?
Because I'm frightened. Because we were too close. Closer than sisters. When we were 6, we were enrolled in boarding school on the same day.
I have very little time for men. I work.
Don't you think Walter is interesting?
Dr. Rockford? Well, he's very attractive.
Ever make it with a girl?
No, never.
You're to stay.
Makes me
Gabriel and I must join our other guests. We were working.
It wouldn't work, Walter.
She's the woman who arranges everything.
She deals and she also plays. My mother made up marvelous tales about elves and fairies. There were always good elves and wicked elves. Good fairies and wicked fairies. Now she writes trash. Young housewives read and believe. All about the daughters of washwomen and cleaning ladies who marry princes.
We're attracted to each other, physically.
Yes, I know that. You probably make love a great deal.
You probably hear us.
I don't exactly hear you. I hear you. I do hear you. There's something I must tell you, Laura. Walter is in love with me. You mean he's having an affair with you? There's a difference. I've known for a long time that you've been fucking him. And he knows that you still go to bed with Honey. Miss Eric.
Oh, Laura!
I can't count the number of boys we fucked. But you said you were afraid of her. Maybe I'm afraid of me. Maybe I'm afraid she'd come between Walter and me. I wouldn't want anyone to come between Walter and me. But Honey could always excite the sexual in anyone.
Here is some other guests. Remember.
No, nothing's wrong.
If you expect us to do.
Oh, I was just thinking. I wish Laura could get just that much interest in what I do. Right from the very beginning, she's been absolutely bored with studies of antiquity.
I'm married now.
Why did you get married?
I love my husband. We fuck every night. I'm happy. He's happy.
It's here.
And he's so
We
happy
haven't
that
found a
he's
trace
so
of it.
happy.
So I'll go in and humor him. Bye-bye.
Oh, come in, Anna.
It's delicious.
I can't,
I
Gabrielle.
put my mouth around one of
You
them,
don't
and that
even
drove her
understand,
bananas.
do you?
We spent the rest of the night together. After that, Miss Brenner was in the palm of our hand.
She kept up the affair with you?
Well, she felt a little funny about it. She tried to avoid any situation after that. We were busy with other conquests. I don't think Miss Brenner ever forgot that night, though.
You have to play the role of a queen for a while.
I can't, honey.
Laura, I'm glad you decided to come. I'm Kerstin.
And I'm Janet, her assistant.
No, I just found out the other day when I saw you.
They're surprised.
I'm going inside so I can be alone when I get to the really horny parts.
You like it, right? How long have you known?
The rest is easy.
Quite a while.
Honey pretended that Miss Brenner's probing had turned her on. Before the poor woman could protest, Honey was at her cunt. I watched for a while, acting very disapproving. Then I unbuttoned her blouse. She was one of those flat
I just know.
She's fucking your husband. She's Walter's assistant. Just like the old times. Have you made it with her?
Why are you staring at me like that?
Was I staring at you? Perhaps because I wonder about you.
Wonder? About me? Let's.
I'll get her here.
You're pretty.
Who is she? I mean, really?
We trapped Miss Brenner. Wasn't very fair, I'm afraid. Honey pretended to be sick in bed, and I hid in the closet. When Miss Brenner came in to check on Honey, she complained about a sore spot in the neighborhood of the cunt. When I burst from the closet, Miss Brenner was between Honey's thighs, probing with her fingers. I started yelling, "What's going on here, Vin?"
A girlfriend.
You
I want
dig
to
and
bring
poke
her here.
around all day, and then you dig and poke around all evening. Well, I decided to see what it is that you two do while I'm busy sunbathing.
That's the preliminary research. A good place for you to start. Who knows, it might stimulate some interest for you in archaeology.
Oh, it already has. Those Bronze Age priestesses really knew how to live. Some mighty dirty passages in this.
I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about Danielle and Geraldine.
Those two women you were living with when I met you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was a great arrangement. Danielle did all the cooking. Geraldine did all the cleaning.
So, what are the boys like here? Good? Want to try one?
Once we even got Miss Brenner, the headmistress. When we were 15, we were left together at school for Easter recess. The other kids had gone home. Our mothers were off with new lovers or something. We were left with the caretakers and Miss Brenner.
Was she a lesbian?
Hardly. She was having an affair with the gardener. We saw them one day together in the field.
And then we both did use it.
Lovely. Really lovely. We'll find out very soon. And he's very anxious to meet you.
Well, girls, looks like you're going to have to do without me for tonight and tomorrow. I've got to take the afternoon ferry back into town. Sundgren is questioning some of our findings.
Oh, shit. Couldn't that wait till next week?
Hello, Gabrielle. It's nice to see you.
These characters are direct copies from the stones at the National Museum.
Bendel's period?
No, perhaps a bit later. Perhaps the Visigoth period.
You've done a marvelous job of advanced research.
Are you two still at it?
Thrown together at Madame Lepont's School for Girls. We spent the greater part of the next 11 years together. We became inseparable. We did everything together. Everything.
You became lovers.
Yes, in a way, perhaps. Sure, we made it together lots of times, but it was more that we got other people involved.